Holy fuck. Welcome to an emergency episode of Twin Humanities. I had a headache on my day off and I curled up on the couch. I fell asleep. And when I woke up, my dream game had arrived.
Basically, you're a wizard.
I'm struggling to form words at the moment, which is always a great point to be on a podcast. And so my eyes are a little crossed. I'm still a little bit sleepy-eyed. I had these gorgeous sort of New York cinnamon raisin bagels that I absolutely adore. I realised I'd gone through sort of three of the halves that I got at the point where you went, "Are you ready?" And I'd just been looking at NeoGAF and chewing. It was almost like the old Beano comic, The Numbskulls, where they got people sort of living in a man's head, but infused with Star Trek, with just like, "We're turning down the power on the taste." Gawping on full. Apologies to Scotland, and I still can't quite take in what I've seen. I think that every, I wouldn't even say rational thought, has been on Twitter, just because I.
How did you find out about it? Did you find out about it in the same way in the Fraction Bastard on Twitter? Was basically just
No, I didn't.
That's how I found it. I was like, what is this?
I didn't get to that
wow.
until later. I kind of I woke up and I knew that we were going to sort of record at 8, and sort of just wandered over to the PC and started looking at like things on Poster Bargain and things, and went on to M4G and just saw it on the top of the page and just went, no, that was afterwards. And it's all coming back to me when you touch me like this.
It only happened 45 minutes ago.
45 minutes. This feels like, I feel like an eternal being. I'm watching over Earth from the moon.
Those images have already burned themselves into your eyes. Are they all you know now?
I honestly would have to think for probably a good few seconds to remember my name. But it was I got to Twitter and Joshua Garrity from Ken and Rins said Project Beast has to be a Miyazaki joint, right? And I just went, ooh. It was like there was an inner recorder that was being played, and some sort of 11-year-old me that never got to learn the recorder had picked up that recorder and was standing in front of the school playing the one note that they knew with great uncertainty but majestic excitement of the.
Ooh, ooh.
He was just no, don't do it too much, especially not like that, because you sound like some sort of insane '60s puppet show or something. Sound like
A confused owl.
yeah, or the clangers, which should go down well with our worldwide audience.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that one's for you kids.
Drop them sick references.
EMB's jumped on Twitter and has been sort of adding fuel to the fire. I've been combing through that through the NeoGAF thread that I was linked to, with a world of gifs to accompany it that have made me like incredibly joyous. Because I'm scrolling down the thread like almost in fast forward a little bit, and words within my new consciousness are leaping in faster than I would normally read them, because I'm an enlightened and heightened being now. And
Are you a bit like Johnny Five?
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen that.
Input, just scrolling through at the speed of light.
But I'll be scrolling down and I'm just like, yeah, Sony Japan Studio. Oh. And then I'll go, oh, it's Miyazaki. All right, then another look at the screenshot. Ooh, there's Chandler dancing. And then it's just, the picture's been up with the Miyazaki hype train.
Oh God, I love the Miyazaki hype train.
Then so, I've just scrolled down again. Now there's a picture of a bloke from The Wire crying. Well, yeah, there's somebody picked up on. Oh look, there's a cowboy. He's got a shotgun. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's the first thing I saw when I went. I was like, oh, that's a gun. That's definitely a shotgun, and he's got a cowboy hat. Oh my God, that's what got me.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Oh, cool! Like, it looks like a Beast Souls game. Yes, but he's got a gun and it's a cowboy. Like, yeah.
The thing is, I mean, Sony may well have approached From and asked them to develop a new IP. Sony may have approached From and said, "Are you going to do Demon Souls 2?" This could still be Demon Souls 2. It could be a different area of the world, because obviously, it's like in our history, there were parts of the world that developed firepower before others, and so it could just be a part of the world. I mean, wouldn't it be a kicker if, for all those screens that we've seen when they're on at E3, if they're sort of flicking through all that gloriousness, and then you see the guy walking towards what appears to be a fog gate, and then he goes through and it's the fucking Nexus or something.
Oh.
And you just see the Maiden in Black go, "Dost thou seek soul power?" And I'd be like, "No!" I'd be like, "There can be only one."
You realise well the amount of times that you've hoped for that, it might actually happen.
I know, I have that on a number of occasions, which almost feels like they're Miyazaki's just got this giant computer, or he sits in like this little pod and puts on Cerebro, and then just goes somebody like speaks in Japanese and there's subtitles and it says, "What are you doing at Hedetaka?" And he was like, "I'm going into CJ's dreams again."
Gonna see what he wants, and then we're gonna make that.
He doesn't talk like that.
Do you think he would?
I
in
hope
dream
not.
state, maybe.
In dreams. Was my eyes. Now that's what I call Twin Humanities. Is now available in the shops.
Our album's getting bigger every day. I love it. Cool. So let's go through the pictures one by one and let's say what we think about them. I've got them open here. Like I'm looking at them.
Let's actually go back and people are thinking, what the fuck are they on about? I mean,
that's true. We have just jumped in here, haven't we?
If you're listening to this podcast, you probably know what the fuck we're talking about anyway, and you probably there's perhaps a special saucer or a bowl just in front of wherever you're listening to us, and perhaps on the bus, or if you just slump it over the toilet and just drool is running as all of those images play in the back of your mind. So you're making me go back to the
long ago of 45 minutes ago.
There's another GIF on NeoGAF with somebody says I'm crying, and somebody's put up a GIF of a Dalek with a cotton wool bud on the end of its thing, just rubbing the top of another one, going. Beautiful thing. So yeah, the first screen appears to be
our character.
It says From Software on the front, and it's a guy in sort of quite a ripped cape with a shotgun. Oh, actually, it's a long coat, isn't it? It's a duster.
It looks like a duster, yeah, with like it looks to me like a duster, but with some sort of big, cool poncho scarf on top of it as well.
Yeah, and he looks like he's got kind of Miami Vice arms on it.
They've been rolled up, haven't they? Like, his arms look skinny as hell, don't they?
And then, I don't know, that the arm looks... I mean, we're saying there's a shotgun because there's something touching the floor.
That has a sort of like a line down the middle of it. It looks like a shotgun barrel, doesn't it?
But that looks like it's in front of him because there's like a little silver bit behind. Almost as if his arm is kind of has just got like a metal clip on the end of it, and maybe something's attached to the arm.
Or maybe it's just the butt of the gun.
I don't know. You know, because the shotgun is in front of that bit of coat that's sort of swinging across.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
That looks like almost like an arm or a glove with just like a metal end on it. Just like a metal, you know, almost like his arm's been cut off or something.
Rather than a hand, it's a nib.
Yeah, maybe that, if that is a shotgun, it's attached to it somehow. It clips on, which is a bit sexy.
Well, that's interesting, because, I mean, looking at the elbow of his elbow, like, it looks tiny to me. That elbow looks skeletal.
Yeah.
To me. Could you play a skeleton?
I'll put this to you. I mean, it could just be, you know, a hollow character, or this is if we're
jpegging
from Demon Souls. But are we actually going to play as a character this time? Are we going to be, you know, like, this is Bob Gossett? That's a terrible name for anything other than feminine hygiene product. But
so Bob Gossett.
I'm not talking rationally at this point. But I'm wondering if we did this with Dark Souls 2 though as well, where we saw a specific character in the trailer, and we were wondering, are we actually playing that person this time? We weren't, so that's what I'd lean towards.
I don't know. I think we're going to have our own, again, chosen undead of some sort. I don't think they're going to say, "Oh, you are Mildred Klingerman."
How do you feel about this potential mixture of, which seems kind of exciting to me, of sort of firepower and shotguns and things like that, almost like a Red Dead Redemption-ish feel in the fantasy world.
I know, that is exactly what I was going to bring up, the Red Dead thing, because one of my favourite DLC packs of ever. Was the Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare pack, which was it's basically, so you've got the world of Red Dead, and they've gone, you know what, fuck it, what if there were zombies, and just run with it, and it was an absolute laugh. Like, it was like, okay, there's zombies everywhere, and like Bigfoots and chupacabras and stuff, and I'm still just a cowboy with a big shotgun, and it was awesome, like really fun. Like, oh, this is really good. Like, you know, galloping around on a flaming horse and shooting zombos in the head. Like, it was really, 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 really fun. And more of that, please. And this is like a sort of a tentative step in that direction from what I can see. I mean, obviously, you know, like you were saying, different places in our world have, you know, advanced quicker or slower than others. You know, there are cultures on our planet that haven't invented guns yet. They still hunt with spears and arrows and stuff.
That as a little aside, takes me back to a brilliant film, if you've not seen it, called Welcome to Dongmakgol, which is
What?
about...
Say that again?
Welcome to Dongmakgol, I think it's called. It's
Okay.
it's an amazing Korean film about these two soldiers on separate sides that end up in a part of the jungle that they're completely separated from everybody else, and they stumble upon a village completely out of the way from anywhere, and the people there have no concept of war. And it's what happens when these guys are brought into this village, which is very funny and very, very well humoured, and it becomes like a really, really funny film. And then what happens when the different sides come looking for them, and all hell breaks loose. It's a brilliant film.
Ooh.
Yeah, so as a little aside, a film recommendation from me, because it is a stormer.
Ooh. Okay. Well, yeah, that sounds cool. But yeah, back to the shotgun and the cowboyman. Yeah, I kind of like they're putting that in. It seems like a way to evolve it without just copying, the formula again, but changing some more stuff.
Do you
Like,
think
it's a good way of evolve. I like how it's evolved it. Like, it'll be a different kind of range weapon, and I don't doubt that we'll have crossbows and bows and arrows in there still. But yeah, I like it. It's a new addition, like really slow load times, but powerful as fuck. Like, I'll take that.
Do you think this is part of the reason that we've got Dark Souls 2 as we've got it? Because perhaps this is what Miyazaki wanted to do with his next game after Dark Souls. From basically said, no, we want to do this. We want to do a direct sequel to Dark Souls. Because there was a great shock where it was said that Miyazaki was removed from the game after Dark Souls. Perhaps at this point, either somebody from, or I mean, there was an Epic Name Bro video earlier on today where he was talking about what From was like. He says it was very quiet and very peaceful. Maybe From approached Sony and said, Miyazaki's got this game. Maybe it's too big for like the regular consoles now. Maybe Miyazaki just went straight to like your man Yosh, who always regretted not doing more with Demon Souls and not taking it to the world and letting the Atlas and Namco have their fussy. Maybe they went to him and just said, "This is what we want to do." Yosh said, "Right." Well, because I mean, there was a thing that we spoke about on previous episodes where the lead programmer of Demons and Dark Souls isn't on Dark Souls 2.
Yes.
Critically, the lead artist isn't on Dark Souls 2, and this absolutely looks like his style. But a huge amount of staff aren't involved as well.
There was that. Was it a NeoGAF person that put it together?
Yeah,
they put a list of all the characters in it. All the characters. Fuck. It's not a movie. It's life. All the humans that weren't involved with that game that were with this game, and like people are going, they're working on some.
Yeah, and even the fact that there's a number of people from Armored Core that have been working on Dark Souls 2 and stuff like that. But this definitely looks like there's a similar art style to Demons and Dark.
Oh God, yeah.
But either that or Sony just approached From after Dark Souls was massive and just said, "Ka-chink, wad of cash, please come back. I love you." And Japan Studio involved as well.
Which is mad. And brilliant.
What are Japan Studio in themselves? Are they a development group, or are they a programming team, or
both?
Yeah,
I think Japan Studio, they do help get stuff out the door, but they've also published stuff like the one that comes to my mind is my 2012 Game of the Year, fucking Tokyo Jungle.
Okay, yeah.
That shit was brilliant. I think it was published by Sony Japan. I can't remember now. Japan Studio. No,
Ico, Shadow.
idiot. Yeah, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus. Christ, how did I forget them? But yeah, they do a couple of titles like that, sort of the critically acclaimed stuff that doesn't come out often, but is always interesting.
But
It's always intriguing.
this also ties into the takeover as well. I mean,
Which we've not talked about yet.
no, but just to interject a bit of it now with the success of Dark Souls, the success of Dark Souls 2, and this on the cards. Is this the point where Kadakawa just went, "We'll have you"? Because they've apparently paid the premium for From Software.
Yeah.
But it depends on whether they see that as potential for the future. I mean, on both Dave Klein and Epic Name Bros videos, they were talking about Dark Souls and Demon Souls potentially going into other avenues like manga and anime. They were talking about Kadakawa having their own programming team and From being involved in that.
Yeah.
I think they. Who was it? Our man Sean on Twitter the other day was saying that one of the directors at Kadakawa is the guy that launched the PlayStation 3.
Really?
Former Sony guy, yeah.
Not Ken Kutaragi.
Yeah, that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ken K. Shit.
So if that's untrue, blame Polygon's community manager. Send all your ire to him.
Because there's one thing he needs more of, it's ire.
But perhaps that was part of the deal. I mean, if that is the case, and he's a director at Kadakawa, he would have obviously heard about this sort of stuff coming from Yosh, I would have thought. But yeah, I mean, we can go into that stuff a little later. But I'm wondering, this to me is the missing cherry on the cake, as far as I'm concerned, because this
is where everyone's been for this season.
This to me looks like the arrival of next gen. Titanfall's supposed to be an amazing game, and it is something that I'd really like to play. And it's an evolution of first-person shooters and all that kind of stuff. But for me personally, for the stuff that I like, and as obsessive as I am about the Souls games, this to me is like next gen has arrived. And if this to me is almost like a kind of warning card for Microsoft at E3 that because there was I think on one of the podcasts, I think it was on the Off the Record CVG podcast, where they said that Microsoft, after the criticisms of last year's LOL's look, it does telly.
What?
What I like to do is I like to pause Star Trek and then watch a trailer of Star Trek 2.
I like to phone my friend in the middle of a film like a prick.
Yeah. But apparently Microsoft are going to be coming out all guns blazing for E3. And
as they fucking should do.
Well, allegedly, is it Phil Spencer, the new guy in charge? He's like very much a games guy.
Is he? He's the guy from Matt Lees' video, the abridged video, who has the personality of a potato. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah.
But apparently he's a big games guy, and that he's refocusing. But this is all shots fired as far as I'm concerned. This to me is the arrival of next gen, because I've said to you before, I financially it would be a struggle to get a new console, and maybe this is the generation I stop at, because I'm just mop up all the cheap games and maybe start emulating stuff from yesteryear, like old Commodore 64 stuff that I grew up with and forgotten. Maybe this is the point where I just take my foot off the pedal and just enjoy games and don't worry about next gen. But this
kind of ruins that, doesn't it?
Well, this to me just more than sparkly graphics or anything like that. There's a sense of design that's there, which has always been the strong point of the Souls games, even on the regular tech of the PS3 and then the 360. But that design just suggests such an adventure, such a world is there, and I know I could pick this up and truly lose myself in it, but I'm not earning a lot of money at the moment, so this is a case of putting money in a jar and watching it grow and just stopping buying games until this comes out. So it's a huge undertaking for me, but I can't not have it.
Well, I'm in a very fortunate position where I already have my big stupid next gen machine without any games for it yet, because I am a whore.
And you harvest the kidneys of children and send them to other countries. To be turned into batteries.
Not every week. I mean, that's more of a side project.
Yeah.
That's like a hobby. That's for fun. But yeah, I have my machine out and ready, and say outside of Infamous and Ground Zeroes, oddly enough, the two games that I haven't bought for the damn thing yet, I'm still waiting on that, really big, game.
This was an interesting comment that was made a little while ago of Sony, and I know you countered it very very nicely, but I think it's a fair criticism that what Sony need to get over is the 7 out of 10s. And I think that Second Son's probably doing better than it would normally have done because there's fuck all on the machine. But this to me is box office. And the interesting thing is that essentially, if this trailer comes out at E3 and then From Software announce PS4 and Xbox One versions of Dark Souls 2, this super quids in.
They sell some PS4s and Xbox Ones that day.
But also, that then bounces back to those people going, right,
which one do I buy?
No, I don't even mean that. I mean that then goes through to people enjoying those games. The PS4 or Xbox One versions of Dark Souls 2, and then looking at this and just going, yeah, that's next.
Yeah.
In the same way as people sort of bounce through, people that played Dark Souls on Xbox 360, but loads of people just went, I've got to get a PS3 for Demon Souls. It was just like this sort of spirit that took them in at night and gave them this kiss and
you hear it all the time,
promises.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. It's the sort of thing that makes someone go out and buy a goddamn machine. And I think I'd like to think that if obviously Project Beast or whatever it ends up being called is probably a ways off yet. I'd like to think we could get a Dark Souls 2, I don't want to say HD because that would make it sound like a twat, but like a next-gen edition of it out, hopefully in the form of like the Prepared to Die edition. So if there is DLC coming for it, which has been rumoured, hasn't it?
Well, Timur said that when he spoke to From Software, they were very open about about DLC. And one thing from playing through Dark Souls 2 and having not quite completed it yet, I'm wondering if the DLC is positioned in the same way as the Artorias of the Abyss DLC was. They've actually got the chance to make the story more immediate and actually sew a bit more into it, because
so they can pull back to the actual, the battles, for instance, or the memories, for instance.
There's a lot more that they can do with it, and I'd like to be more engaged with Dark Souls 2 than I am. But they've got the potential to do that, and if that team is now finished on Dark Souls 2, I'd imagine that the next priority would probably be next gen.
Because it's not like they haven't got the textures and models done already, is it? Because the PC version just came out, and it's apparently by all accounts looking stunning.
Yeah, well, the architecture of both the next gen machines is supposed to be set up for PC ports. I was listening to the Daft Souls podcast earlier on, and they said no, it wasn't on Daft Souls, it was on Chet and John's with Dave Turners, and they were saying about, wouldn't it be kind of cool if they put out Dark Souls 2 as a twin pack with Dark Souls,
Ooh.
like on next gen. And whilst I don't think that'd happen, because I think they could get away with sort of a reasonably priced, if they took all of those mods from the PC version, chuck those into proper Dark Souls, and then mastered it. Kickbacks to the people that did what they did, like, was it Durante with
the frame rate fixes and stuff.
And put that out, people would play that to bits. So yeah, that's an idea in itself. But yeah, I thought that it was interesting, and it'd be nice to see Dark Souls get a new lease of life on a modern day machine as well. And who's to say that with the financial backing of Kadokawa, that they couldn't get that running on dedicated servers?
Yeah, I mean, this is big conjecture here, but going on the God of War rule, is that the God of War 2 famously came out on the PS2, not the PS3, when it would have been the perfect, launch title to get up. But they chose not to, because we've got our engine, we want to use it to the best we can, and we don't really want to fuck it up and ruin the engine. God of War 3 comes out a few years later, looks brilliant, and then they sort of upscaled all the graphics and bunged out PS3 versions of it. And I think we could see the same thing happening, like a Souls Legacy box, maybe.
Well, they would on the Epic Name-Bro video, he was saying to give an idea of the two companies. From Software's profits, I think last year, or how much the company is worth, is around $30 million. Kadokawa, who make their money in magazines and manga and anime, that sort of stuff. Remember, from $30 million, Kadokawa was something like $160 billion. It might have been 30 million yen and like 160 billion yen, but it was something completely nuts.
Ridiculous,
and interesting to see how that financial backing not only comes into play with from perhaps being able to be more lavish and push their properties, but I don't know. There's always the other side of that where you wonder about meddling and stuff. But
yeah. Well, okay, I want to talk to you about the enemies that you see in the pictures we have seen today.
Well, should we go through the pictures one by one? Because the first picture.
We kind of stopped, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But this is Twin Humanities. We always get sidetracked.
Sidetracked? Me? What?
Yeah, it's just the great scale extric of life. Oh, look, they've passed that, but the background again. So the second picture I've got has got some sort of big, chunky little looking motherfucker who looks like his trousers are made out of Joel from The Last of Us' shirt.
Which one are you looking at here? I see the one you mean. Okay, that's a bit further down the page, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a big. Oh, it's the second one that's come up on the folder that I've saved them off in. So he looks like he's punched our boy, and our boy looks like he's got a bit of a sword in his right hand.
Yeah, and there's quite a bit of claret.
Yeah, I think that's his. Well, it definitely looks like a poncho there more than a duster, doesn't it?
Definitely. There's definitely a sword poking out towards the big guy.
Because the big guy looks like his body's turned and his sort of right arm has followed through and punched.
Yeah, you're seeing a behind shot of him and his hands behind his body at this point. It's punched around in a circle and gone boff. You're seeing him knocked back. Blood everywhere. And the blood looks pretty good. I mean, obviously, again, this is in JPEG vision.
Yeah, this we've had to boost this sort of quite a bit. Well, look, I like the touch on the bad guy's feet. Instead of wearing shoes, he's just got bandages around his feet, almost as if he's kind of grown outwards.
Yeah,
hulked out, if you will.
He does look a bit that way, doesn't he? You can sort of get flashes of him in the background of a couple of the other shots. You can sort of see
I'll look at that.
A shape move, like a shape in the background that could be perspective. It could be that he's big and far away, or regular size and close. But there's something that looks that kind of hunched over in one of the other shots further up, and he looks kind of, I don't know, like an Orlando Giant size. The ones that stand outside. Like he looks about that big, maybe.
and we've seen lots of rocky sort of caverns around. If you look towards the right hand side, it looks like there's a place to go, maybe
a bridge with a platform, maybe, and there's like
because the bridge looks like it's sort of leaning off,
Mm.
but also that bridge. Even though it's not, it looks a little bit sort of train tracky and that kind of stuff. God, could you imagine if you have a level on top of a train?
Oh my!
Not only would that be kind of super cool, but it's also is it Sunset Riders, isn't it?
Mm.
The old coin op.
All aboard the hype train.
Yeah, indeed. With
the boss would be the train.
Yeah,
wouldn't it? I mean, that would be the boss would be the train, looking a bit like probably Doom Train from Final Fantasy VIII, because everybody loves Doom Train.
So the next picture looks a wee bit sort of Huntsman's Wharf.
Which one are you looking at here?
I've got the one with the giant rabid matted dog in the middle of it.
Yep, there's a couple like that actually.
Then there's
some guys behind it. Now I want to have a look at one of these. Okay, so there's one where the dog is looking off to the right. Okay.
No, it's not that one.
He's looking left. Oh, even one looking left. Okay. So looking at the guys around him, they don't look particularly well. They look a little bit sort of zombie, a little bit hollow, but not incredibly. They just look a bit minging,
just
like
ragged,
almost kind of piratey, like the sort of Pirates of the Caribbean sort of. Raggedy man sort of look.
What I really like about it, the guy on the left in that picture is kind of how low his hat is pulled down, almost to not just to shield himself from the sunlight, but to hide his own eyes. And he's the beard. Once again, he looks tall. He looks like the sort of person in old westerns that would just live up in the hills and then pick people off, and sell their possessions.
And the fact that everyone's wearing, the fact everyone's wearing fucking duster coats as well, it makes me very, very happy. But I want to look at his arm, the one that he's holding a cavalry saber in one arm, and he's holding something that isn't, like he's just got his arm in the other arm. That arm looks too big.
That arm looks really long. And
that is a long arm, right?
Once again, this adds to what I was saying in that first picture, that maybe it's something on top of the arm.
Yeah.
Or something that's like replaced the arm.
Some sort of. Oh, God, do you know what I just had a flash of? It's fucking Resident Evil 4. Jesus, this is Plagas and crazy men with torches going, Gabrone!
That's not a bad pitch, though. Resident Evil 4 meets Dark Souls.
Oh, my God, it's got a zombie dog in it. Oh, my God.
But I like the look of some of the other guys look like they've got bandanas on.
They don't all look like the same dude 6 times. Like they've got personality. They're unique looking.
The one that's behind the dog on the left almost looks a bit zombie-ish. The others look ragged.
Yeah.
Again, but they all look like they're being led by the guy with the pulled down, almost witchy kind of rained on cowboy hat. But the guy sort of just behind him does seem to be a bit more zombie-like, I guess.
Yeah.
That dog suggests it as well in a big way.
That is a mangy-ass dog.
I tell you what, these things are drenched in atmosphere, aren't they? I mean, Miyazaki knows what he wants, and we've always said that he brings a bit of a touch of class to things, and he's got a great eye for design, but I can't remember the last time that I saw a bunch of screenshots and just went, look at the artistry. These are grabbed.
This isn't even a pre-generated trailer we're getting excited out of. This is like 6 pictures we're extrapolating from. Let's just take that in for a moment, how excited we're getting over 6 pictures. I like it. But the amount of crap I've given people going, don't be excited, it's just a CG trailer. I kind of have to kind of eat that crow a little bit now and be like, yeah, I know they're just pictures, but I'm really excited about them.
Eat that crow.
Eat that crow. So let's move on to the next.
The first round is smooth or silky. The next picture I've got, the coat looks like it's absolutely in tatters, and the guy's standing outside what appears to be a fog gate, but looks a little bit crystalline, a little bit electric, I guess.
I could see that. I mean, it looks a bit like So you remember in Demon Souls,
Hmm.
in 1-1, so you're walking through it, and there's a hole, a short way into the first level, and every idiot like looks down and goes, "Oh look, there's some shiny white stuff there." Jumps in and dies. Do you know what I mean? Outside the building, before you go through your first proper fog door, there's one just outside. There's a guy hucking like arrows nearby him, and there's like a big hole, and it looks kind of a bit glowy, a bit magic. This looks a bit more electric, but it looks like that.
Well, maybe this is linked into kind of increasing technology, that maybe it's not as completely magic based, that you've actually got firepower in there and energy sources, and perhaps the electricity here is exactly that. It could be force field. Also, I mean, I know the body language doesn't exactly suggest it, but perhaps that's something that's being fired at the door.
Ooh.
Something massive that's being fired at the door. Also, if you look at it, you know, in the same way as Demon Souls 4-2, you got those shadow men.
Yeah.
That the whiter bits in the centre. What if that's a creature that's coming towards him?
Also coming out of the room.
Yeah, because
Ooh.
it's certainly. You see what I mean? It's almost like there's a. This is getting really nitpicky, but I'm going to go there. But there's a blob in the centre that almost could be like a head hunkered down a little bit. There's a
Yeah.
couple of bits above that could be shoulders that are and arms that are out wide, ready to attack. He looks like, and then underneath, sort of perhaps legs that are coming towards him.
Maybe. This is getting a bit. Let's look at some clouds.
Oh, come on!
I mean, I look
That's
at it and
beautiful. Don't
I
pick
can
on
see
clown.
I can see a TIE fighter in there.
Oh, don't be pedantic, you fatback wank. We can pick this apart.
Two dogs eating some lasagna is what I see.
It makes me laugh on this one as well, because there's a little cursor in the corner and somebody on NeoGAF put PC version confirmed.
Yeah. Well, no, someone noticed it's actually a Mac cursor.
Is it?
Yeah, Mac version confirmed, and it's in the corner of every single picture as well.
The next one is that I've got is probably the one that's blown up the most, I guess, because it looks like a PS2 on my screen now. But it's got somebody walking through a room full of candles.
Candles,
Yeah.
candeliers.
Candelabras are the ones that
That's the word.
fall from the ceiling, aren't they?
Yes.
Does it matter?
No.
Candle stands.
Candle bit.
But once again, you've got loads of roots that are growing and wrapping around the brickwork, and
Yeah.
once again, it's just atmosphere mongers.
And the guy does appear to be running forwards, from what I can see.
Do you think so?
I think he's running. Yeah, I think he's leaned forwards. He's got his foot down in the hallway. His other foot is kind of flicked back towards us. I think he's running.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going for it.
I love how rusted those candle stands look as well.
Even through the JPEG filter.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like you say. It's kind of like the world's kind of starting to eat it. Much like the room in Forest of the Giants in Dark Souls 2. The I think it's the Cardinal's Tower place where the roots have kind of busted in and sort of broken apart the building. But you can still walk around the building, but there's roots everywhere, and they kind of open up new areas because there's roots and tree bits spraying it. And again, it suggests that this place is old. Like, it's old enough for tree roots to have grown through this building that they made.
Mm-hmm.
And that implies to me, yeah, really old place.
And
But there's candles in it. So, who put the candles there?
we've got another picture which is sort of drenched in the yellow of torches, as there's sort of a couple of zombie-looking guys in the middle, and then you've got what appears to be a human guy in the background, sort of hunched and looking on.
Yeah.
And then another guy either got a cigarette on or with some wheat in his mouth, or this.
I think that might be just the curve of his jacket on the other side.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
You're right.
But brandishing a saber.
Regardless, he's coming in with a sword, and our guy looks very very spindly. And here you can see it's a kind of definite poncho cape, and it's not a duster at all.
Which makes me rather excited because ponchos are cool. And he's got the big floppy hat as well. Like Like these are the items that I will pick and wear for the whole game, even if they're shite. I will wear them because looking like a cool cowboy is worth it.
Once again, the design of the area is just phenomenal with the gravestones and the way that the torches are lit. And
Yeah, the lighting looks great. I mean, it's subtle. It's not like we're going to turn on this light and it's going to illuminate the entire area with yellow. Like it's kind of a very subtle, like you get with an actual torch. Like
this is the thing with Demon Souls, that it's palette wise. There's not really a lot going on, but it was so atmospheric. He never punched that Christopher Nolan button in me where I've gone, oh, grey and brown and black, because it was just exceptional. And this seems to be doing the same sort of thing. I mean, definitely you can imagine those stairs running up being in 4-1 in Demon Souls. But once again, the way that the stones are positioned and stuff, and the slates are laid haphazardly on top of one another and been worn away, is just fabulous.
Yeah. So look at that one. So what picture have you got left now? I think there should be only one left at this point.
Yeah, I got to the other one with the doggy.
The sort of the weird bursting one.
The one where it's going like, row? We've got the one with some sort of creature with, I don't know, massive...
This is the hardest one for me to make out, because it's very JPEG, and it looks like it's in the middle of an action as well, so it's... Yeah, pinch of salt on what's going on. But it looks like you've got a creature in the background. Looks like one of the hunched over, sort of bandage wearing sentries from the Lost Bastille. In the way that he's got a big spear and he's kind of hunched over with a big cloak on. And a weird sort of awesome hairy mohawk running down his spine, which makes him look a little bit like a furry stegosaurus.
Because at first I thought he was holding a staff, and then I wondered if that was some sort of lamppost.
I thought it was a lamppost at first, and then I've sort of looked at it again, and now I'm actually not sure if he's even holding it or if he's next to it, and it is just a lamppost, because there is similar looking artifacts sort of around at the back, and again, looking through the JPEG vision, but there are similar looking artifacts in the background, so it could just be a lamppost, and he could just be leaning that way. Because I can't seem to see... I can see what looks like a hand holding it, but I can't see... Like, I don't get the impression that there's an arm attached to that, and I think it is just an awkwardly placed shadow.
Yeah, it's difficult to kind of make out exactly what the lead character's doing.
Yeah, he seems to be either taking damage or shooting a thing.
I think he's sort of turning towards the left of the picture and trying to run away, but has been kind of stabbed, and that sort of wonderfully... Ghostbusters 2 goopy, gooey, bloody effect is going...
Oh god, yeah. It looks like jelly jam. Like proper gooey jelly jam. And the top of his head seems to be leaning over a bit as well in that image. Like he seems to be leaned over. And something as well I want to point out while we're on the subject of his hat. Looking at the pictures across the hat, it looks like there's a feather sticking out of each side.
Have a look.
Yeah, like... Particularly the very first image, which is the one where it's got software over the side. There's a feather on each side. Oh my god, he's got bunny ears. This is the adventures of Echo the Bunny Man.
Yeah, don't ruin that.
Oh, come on.
No fucking bunny lead character.
Because he's got bunny ears.
Just because you dress up every character in every game in like the most ridiculous chaps and clown outfits.
I will have you know, Mrs. Havisham was very she was dignified. Mrs. Havisham was.
Yeah, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, my Saints Row character is very.
I've seen what you do in Saints Row, and it's not human.
Yeah. Oh, cool! I've got a digital puppet. Let's abuse them. Yeah. But no, think about it. You've got the bunny ears on the hat, right? Bunny stick confirmed. Yeah.
Did you hear me become a creaky door of defiance then?
Yeah. But yeah, that's all of the pictures except for the very last one, which is just the words Project Beast working title.
I have to see this trailer.
So on the theory of Project Dark became Dark Souls, Project Beast Souls? Does that sound a bit weird?
Not particularly, no. Because let's face it, Sony own Demon Souls, From own Dark Souls. So they're both sharing souls between them. Why don't From's working on it with Sony? So surely I'd imagine plugging the word souls in there would be a big deal, unless they don't particularly want to go near scaring people off.
Yeah.
There are a degree of folks that won't go near the Souls games because of the alleged difficulty, but I'd imagine that this is just too tempting. If it were me making decisions, I'd have the Souls word on there, and I just love this kind of steampunkish. I'm hoping there's magic and stuff in there as well, because that would be a really interesting dichotomy between mechanical weapons versus magic in a world, because I don't know.
It hits a nice boundary. I mean, there's as some of you may know, I play Dungeons and Dragons, specifically of a version called Pathfinder, which is like the open source kind of free if you want to download it, or like it's the alternative to D&D. And it also has like characters, like it's basically a fantasy setting. But if you want, you can pick. There's I think it's like a gunslinger, they call it. And you can buy guns to use. They're very rare, and they're rather tricky to use, but you can buy and operate a gun, and that can be your whole character class. And I get a vibe off of that, very, very similar. Like, it's a very Dungeons and Dragons sort of look to it. Like, we've got some redneck locals and some angry looking dogs, and you're wearing a cool cowboy hat. Like, that's the sort of thing that I pick when I'm making a character. I specifically, in our last couple of sessions ago, went to a shop to buy a fancy hat. For no reason than I wanted a fancy hat. And that's exactly the kind, like, it's basically like, hey, look, you've got a shotgun, and there's kind of zombie-looking things, and you can wear a cool hat. And, like, I'm quite easy to please. Give me a cool hat, and I'm, you're 3/4 of the way there. But yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more from the NeoGAF thread, a short bit of text at the bottom around, okay, that explains some of the other things that were shown in this trailer or whatever it is that's being shown.
Yeah,
and I'm just going to go through those. That's written here. Okay. He walked around, which is, okay, walking around. 4 enemies, again. I can describe a giant mind flayer type enemy. So, the Cthulhu Mens from the Tower of Latria.
Dear God.
Yeah, okay. Then we've got a character placing a shining magic sword into a pedestal at the base of a statue. That could be anything. Like, that could be a key. That could be the King Arthur myth at the middle of it. That could be some magic soul brand sword, perhaps. Like, who knows? Who fucking knows? We have a huge pyromancy fireball. So, pyromancy confirmed? Who knows? Then just the word shotguns. And finally, there was text, "This is a nightmare." And I don't think that relates to the name of the game. Because, there's a lot of interesting language floated around with the Souls games, like seek soul power and, that sort of thing. So I don't think this is a nightmare. I don't think Nightmare's going to come into it, because I saw a couple of people saying, "Oh, look, it's a new Nightmare Creatures game."
No, I think it's just a description on the world, or the fact that it's, the Souls games have always had a touch of survival horror to them. So yeah.
Yeah, we can get a few more. The Mind Flayer enemy is the thing that interests me, because that's a direct link from that. I mean, zombie men turn up 10 a penny, really. Zombie dogs, again, fairly common. Shotguns, yes, also quite common. Mind Flayer type enemies, and a big one at that, a giant one, they say. That's more like it. That's the kind of callback that I'm looking for.
I've just jumped onto the Twin Humanities Twitter, and I think Hellcat Drake's put up a video doing analysis on the screens and stuff. I do love Hellcat Drake's analysis on things that didn't make Dark Souls, and the differences between early trailers and the end products and stuff that was left on the disc. So I really like Hellcry Drake stuff, so I'll be watching that after this. So if you didn't realise that he's done a piece, jump onto his YouTube because it's very good.
Well, to be fair, again, this is a lot of people are going to be putting things together rather quickly, I believe, because we're still only about an hour away from finding out about it, which is...
Yeah, you can write off your night because you're mastering this beast.
Yeah, there goes everything I wanted to do this evening. Great. Oh, man, I wanted to play some Dark Souls, but I can't.
Well, we were going to.
We were, but that'll have to happen another time.
Yes.
Because, frankly, I don't know if we could have waited to talk about this.
No.
I wasn't sure if you were going to speak in words or just going to go, to
be honest, I'm kind of quite terrified that words did come tumbling out. And it wasn't just, so CJ, what do you think of it? And I'm like, yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I mean, again, massive disclaimer. We could be massively wrong.
Oh, absolutely, but this could be speculation.
Yeah, this could be something entirely new, and in some month's time when E3 is around the corner, when I don't know when E3 is anymore. When's E3?
If you have any thoughts on this, contact us on Twitter, and we'll probably do a return to Project Beast and sort of see what everyone else's thoughts are, not just on the screens, but any ideas, and as we've combed down the screenshots and tried to make sense of what's there, or try to fashion out a more real world, I guess.
Yeah, and please, put thought into them. Unlike just pressing the button and just talking at each other like we've done.
Chuck into the soup. Chuck into it.
Add your onions of knowledge.
Yes, and your spines of onions.
Spines?
I don't know. That didn't even make sense.
A word's failing you now.
Words from my head.
This evening's kind of gotten away from us slightly, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah, but we've got the Kadakawa takeover as well. And I've long sort of fancied a Dark Souls TV series, and in the back of my head, it's always been there, and it would be better than Game of Thrones because there's such rich lore, and whilst everybody takes on their own personal journey, they could do a story about a chosen undead going through Lordran, and I would not be unhappy at Kanekawa doing a Dark Souls anime. Or
I don't know. See, I'm not sure if I'd want extra stuff outside the games. I love the lore stuff. I'm not sure if I'd want the comics. I like the game.
You don't have to have them then.
Yeah, but the fact they exist.
But if they did in the same way as we play the game, and the choices that we make are uniquely our own. There might be characters that we see, there might be characters that we don't see, and obviously there are this stuff that crops up in between. If they told a story of a chosen undead, and they did someone waking up in the asylum, then being carried to Lordran, and maybe going down into the skeleton areas and being terrified, and really sort of pumping a bit more emotion into that character, really rounding out a character rather than the shell that we control, and then taking a journey through the game. I'd be interested on the one hand to see how they flesh out characters that we've met. I'd love to see sort of imagine a dialogue with Lautrec where he talks a little more about his faith or something, or I don't know. If there was a bit with Petrus of Thurland where he was just really snide and really, it seemed to be hiding a lot, and we'd just be sneering. But also the point where you can imagine like the end of an episode where he walked through to Ulasil.
Mm.
And imagine the Artorias episode, and I'd be up for that. Give it to a really good writer, give it to a really good animation team, and Kadokawa, I believe, do Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, of which I'm a really big fan, and they got Kyoto Animation, who are one of the best animation houses in the world, on that. So they've clearly got a lot of money as a company, and they're happy to throw that money at the best to get the best out of their properties and enhance them and take them on a notch. So I don't think there'd be in any way, shape or form a degree of shitting something out, because especially if you've bought a company like From Software, you want to get the best out of the properties that are there if you want to take them to other mediums. I mean, we've long since said that Dark Souls isn't merchandised at all. I mean, aside from those T-shirts that came out from Meat Bun a while back, and may well be coming back as well.
Oh please, I need that Ceaseless Discharge shirt like it ain't no thing.
And possibility, this afternoon, that Insert Coin Clothing are still plugging away to try and get a deal done for a Dark Souls line. Aside from those, there's been nothing.
Yeah.
And if Kadokawa, using the resources that they've got and undoubted connections, if they've merchandised the hell out of Haruhi, which they have, would you say no to a set of Dark Souls action figures?
Ooh.
Onion Bro, Lautrec, Solaire, Artorias, Goth.
To be fair, no, I would say no to action figures. I want figurines. I want statuettes. Action figures stand there like they're having a shit.
No, you know what
I mean?
You're being pedantic. You're splitting hairs.
No, I'm not. It really matters these days.
So, but it's something along the lines of, well, they could do your sort of plastic figurines, or they could do. I'm thinking more along the lines of, like your Square Enix's Play Arts Kai, is it?
I don't like those.
Oh, he's splitting hairs again.
Oh, bitty! Give me a beautiful statuette. Give me like the one that comes with Assassin's Creed. That came with Assassin's Creed 3 with kind of sitting on top of a twig in a cool pose. Like, give me that. Like, give me a
if
beautiful
they're doing
pose.
toys and pretty statuettes for Ginger Boys, that would be cool. That would be really neat if they had T-shirts. If they had, I'd be up for that. If the quality level's good. It's something that I love, and it's been hard enough to get any of that stuff anyway. And it's something that I'd support. And as long as Kadokawa were leaving From free to do whatever they wanted, and were just putting the satellite stuff around there, all well and good. If this deal had have come in before Dark Souls 2 came out, I'm wondering if people might have been, which it hasn't, by the way, but if it had have done, I'm wondering if a lot of the people that are criticising Dark Souls 2 may have gone, well, this is Kadokawa, they've got their hands in the mix, and they're ruining things and stuff. So I think it's an interesting point that they step in, but I don't think they're going to fuck about with From.
My only concern is if they do bring an anime or a manga or a movie or whatever, I don't want the canon fucked with. Like, the problems I have, like, the reason I don't bloody read, like, mainstream superhero comics anymore, I just can't get the canon straight.
But why is it going to fuck with the canon? There is no canon in Dark Souls. Everybody's journey is their own personal journey. People do different builds. Some people meet certain characters. Some people don't. Some people see characters at different points, and like Onion Bro. Some people will see the ending of Onion Bro at Ash Lake. Others will see him jump in Lost Izalith.
Okay, let me put it this way. For me, it's the difference between Metal Gear Solid on the PS1 and Metal Gear Solid on the GameCube. Like
Yep.
that's my worry, and I don't, I'm not. It's not a big worry,
But
admittedly.
if you're taking that as your example, you're taking a story and then you take it which is established with a single character, and then somebody redoing that story. Everybody's story in Dark Souls is different. So if they're doing a take on a story, that's no different to watching somebody else's playthrough on YouTube.
True.
And if the quality level was there, and it was well animated and well written, I could invest in that. And if they fleshed out some of the characters to a greater degree with some of the stuff that we speculated about, that's almost the same as somebody doing a lore video on YouTube. It's just going to be a take on that character, but it'd be interesting to hear Lautrec talk about his armor, or I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do, but it wouldn't infringe on the games at all. It would just be a take.
Yeah.
It would be a story in there, almost. And let's face it, we're all playing the game at the same time. We're all invading each other's worlds.
Yeah, true. I mean, just please God, don't have a high pitched girl. Just please, this one time, anime, please, for me, don't put a yuffie in it.
It'd be interesting.
Oh, please don't make like Rhea go, we're going on a quest. Ah!
Because even the Japanese versions are use the English dub. It'd be great if they could get the actors back.
That would be great. I think Captain Crestfallen is probably is an easy grab there, isn't he?
In what way? I don't know what you mean.
Well, he's always been crestfallen in every game, so
yeah.
No, he jumped back. Him. The most crestfallen man in the history of everything. He's an easy grab, I think. And to be fair, a lot of the voice actors they do a lot of these things anyway, don't they? I mean, the same actors do a lot of the same sort of games. See the same names in the credits come all the time.
The actors in Dark Souls and Demon Souls and stuff tend to be like English actors that have done little bits on telly, aside from the likes of Peter Serafinowicz and stuff. Tend to be actors that have done a little bit of TV, but not much. Like the guy that voices Patches was in apparently in British TV medical drama Casualty. The guy that voiced Solaire was in British cop show The Bill, which is quite funny because The Bill is the police station is called Sunhill. So I wouldn't say that they're massive actors. Popularity wise, I mean, they may well do shitloads on the stage and just dabble in TV and video games and stuff. And the most famous one I've seen outside of Peter S is the guy that you unfreeze in Dark Souls 2, who starts offering to do stuff with boss souls for weapons.
Ray de Volface.
Yeah, he was in amazing Japanese puppet show Starfleet, and he played in the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd. He was one of the council that sent him to the Outer Lands or whatever it is.
I've never heard of this film. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's got a very very specific voice, but I always knew him as Dr. Ben in Starfleet, because Starfleet was really important to me as a kid. It was one of the greatest things I'd ever seen, and the worst Christmas I ever had was when Starfleet was airing on Saturday mornings, and early on there was a Commander Carter who had been the person that trained one of the main heroes, Shiro Hagen, and they showed that Captain Kara, who we thought was dead, had come back, and he got like this metallic insect across his eye, and he was sort of being controlled and working for the bad guys. And they had like this little segment where they showed sort of Shiro shooting at this guy, but this guy getting the better of him and not knowing who it was. And then it closed in on Captain Carter, and it just went, Starfleet will be back in 3 weeks' time after Christmas and New Year. And I just died. It was just like, you can't give me something that important and then made me wait nearly a month. But yeah, he was he played a character called Dr. Ben, who was in charge of X-Bomber. And there was one of the what set me on the road to loving a lot of mecha stuff with X-Bomber sort of takes off from Earth and gets shot down on the moon, and then there's a certain point where all these fighters launch out of X-Bomber, and with Shiro, Barry Hercules, and there was some ginger guy called John Lee. One was like a tank, one was like this Millennium Falcon type thing, and one was this little fighter. And then there was a certain point they just came together and they just locked together as a robot. And I was like, whoa! So, but yeah, Starfleet is ace. So, but yeah, he played Dr. Ben. So if you go onto YouTube and you look at Starfleet, when you see Dr. Ben, who's got the black beard, it's the same guy who was playing the character that you mentioned, that I can't remember the name of.
And I've also forgotten. Shit.
Great place to end the episode.
Brilliant. Oh wait. We have to end it now. Oh no. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's been a post up in the NeoGAF thread that shut this all down. It's from V, the video game board on 4chan, from Miyazaki, creator of Souls. Yo, it's Miyazaki here. The game is Ouya exclusive. Takes place in the Gears of War universe. Brackets, see the guns. I'm sorry. Oh, crap. We've just made ourselves look stupid for an hour.
Oh, man.
Oh, don't we feel dumb?
Yeah, please don't put this out.
I'd rather it not exist than be that I just described.
That's a great closing quote. But also, that NeoGAF thread's gone to 40-odd pages, is it?
Oh, God. I just pressed last page, and it's already 10 pages further on from the last time I clicked it.
So, I may well be looking at this as you master it. But if you can sort this tonight, I will get it up.
Yay!
The interwebs.
Internet!
And it's funny you should mention Red Dead Redemption, because Savvy Gamer have just put up a thing. Red Dead Redemption PS3, £2.96.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, I might go for that, and we could do some bro-op.
Ooh. Some of the unused content from Demon Souls.
What?
I'm just looking. There's an unused content section for Demon Souls.
Yeah.
And there's an Archstone.
Oh, God.
A broken one. Apparently there's some sort of... And there's beast people.
Oh, God.
Ooh. To the internet.
Oh, God.
But no, I'll leave that out. I'll cut off at the end of the silly comment.
No, don't. No, this is important.
Okay. We're back. Fucking hell. I thought we were
incredible.
done, and then it's just someone's just popped a link up that remember that there's a broken Archstone in Demon Souls, and then there's some unused assets. There's a wolf barbarian. We've got some sort of bear man. There's a hyena with sort of big long arms and a kind of hyena face.
Have you seen underneath? Somebody's put a gif of a kid like breathing into a bag. So imagine then that they do this trailer, with or without the does thy seek soul power bit, and then it comes to the end and it comes up with Project Beast temporary title, and then everything just falls away. The audience goes bonkers, and then it comes back on screen, maybe somebody on stage goes, "Oh, that looks like it's maybe broken a bit," and then just it all breaks away and it just says Demon Souls 2. That would just be incredible. Or they went into, if that was the Nexus that they went through, and they went up to the sixth Archstone, and then
maybe that's what broke it.
what people in the future cheering so much? It shattered through time.
Yeah, Smash. Oh, damn it, technology. Ooh.
Excited.
Ooh, excited. Yeah, let's leave it for reals that time.
Yeah, get this mastered.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to us witter on and stuff. I hope it's been a decent listen. If you've not listened to our previous episode, which went up today,
yep,
with the fragrant and bountiful Dave Klein from Dave Control Live, please do that. But yes, this is an emergency, hence we've bundled this together like some delicious yogurt with all the fruit of the forest.
And we did have planned to do something completely different tonight, but do you know, I don't mind. This is worth breaking the thing for. So, and I'm sure by the next time we do another show, there'll be more shit.
And now there. It's gone dark. Right, get mastering, Ginger.
To the internet tubes. Bye, everyone.
Good vibes. Good vibes and vibes.